Green Day and Avenged Sevenfold are two of the most popular rock bands in present-day US. Their songs 21 Guns and MIA, which I will compare and draw a conclusion about the anti-war sentiment in the US rock and metal scene. They were both released addressing the US's intervention in the Middle East. Green Day originated in the Bay Area, California. They were a punk band that emerged from the counterculture movement Summer of Love, and they are iconic for being liberal, far-left, anti-war, and especially anti-Bush with the highly controversial album American Idiot. And their song 21 Guns came from the album 21st Century Breakdown in 2009. Avenged Sevenfold was formed much later, and they make use of the wave of emo and screamo sounds in the early 2000s. And the song 21 Gun is a slow and melancholic tune. It opens up with a series of confrontational questions, and it starts a kind of one-sided monologue where the speaker exposes the inner world of a soldier in the aftermath of the battle. The chorus calls for him to drop his weapon and give up the fight, and the rest of the song forces him to confront the damage he has done to innocent lives and himself. He is both a villain and a victim of the warmongering regime. Meanwhile, in MIA, the story is told from the first-person perspective of the soldier himself. Through the heavy metal instruments and the rapid tempo, he lives through a brutal, violent nightmare of kill or be killed. Led by fear, he resents the high-ups who has tossed him and other US soldiers into the war like disposable killing machines. Both songs are very rich with imagery and symbolism, and it depicts a haunting picture of the soldier's experience in the war. In both songs, he made it home alive, but perhaps he would never live again. Something in this heart has died. He fought for honor in the name of God and the country, but all he got in return is trauma and isolation. He may confess to his crime and beg for forgiveness, but only to the ghosts of the lives he has taken. Both songs question the morality of his fight, which is attached to his nationalism. But through the songs, we came to the conclusion that nationalism hardly justifies what both sides of the war go through. The songs are a bitter criticism of the US's military involvement in the Middle East, where thousands of US soldiers have died or gone missing in battle, or lived to come home with scars that will never heal, leaving behind the devastation of the innocent lives they burned. With this analysis in mind, it seems natural to think that Avenged Sevenfold is also inheriting Green Day's generation of anti-government resistance music. While on the contrary, however, Avenged Sevenfold are openly Republicans, supporters of the Bush administration, and proudly celebrate conservative American values, including great respect for the Army. If one pays closer attention, their idea of patriotism is reflected on other songs like Critical Acclaim. In general, Green Day and Avenged Sevenfold are at two opposite ends of the US politic spectrum. This context helps highlight even more their anti-war sentiment. The artists can strongly disagree regarding the political parties, but they both agree that the atrocity of the US's war in the Middle East is unjust. Green Day and Avenged Sevenfold are only two representatives of the anti-war consensus of US rock and metal. It seems that the genre universally acknowledges the value of human life and peace. of people, especially the youth, have been and will connect with these messages and become a prominent force driving US politics and society, much like they did in Summer of Love.